Another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money 'cause I just got paid. Now how I wish I had someone to talk to. I'm in an awful way. Dig this. I got in town a month ago. I seen a lot of girls since then. If I could meet 'em, I could get 'em. But as yet I haven't met 'em. That's why I'm in the shape I'm in. Here another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money 'cause I just got paid. Now how I wish I had someone to talk to. I'm in an awful way. Now another fella.
I'm Soraya. It's Velvet Heaven number 7. There was almost no show tonight because my computer did not want to cooperate. But here I am, back again, and there'll be a double episode because I'm going to record a mix for me for the Ohio trip and postpone RJN's until I get back the week after because RJN has some very cool and eclectic taste in music and I have to do a little more work to get it. So sorry RJN, very very soon you're going to have your own mix. So hold tight for that. Also, I want to thank everybody for all the positive feedback I've gotten because I've gotten a ton lately. So thanks guys, I really appreciate it. It makes doing this a lot more fun. I also want to say that I'm very happy and excited to say that there is a Rockstar update. So yay! If you haven't checked out Raleig's blog, it's www.raleigh.net, and you should, because I don't want to go into it and spoil it, but Raleigh's had quite an interesting journey to Arizona. But as far as I know, when last we emailed, she was unloading the truck. So that was a few days ago. But it's always good to know the rock stars out there, and hopefully she unpacks her speakers and can listen to me. I sure hope so. And more in that vein, I was very happy to hear that she finished what I sent her writing-wise, and she loved it. So I'm going ahead. I'm almost done with chapter 7, and as soon as I have more Velvet Heaven written, and as soon as I'm done with the rest of my writing, because I had a listener ask about it, I will be letting everyone know where they can purchase it. I'm very excited. I never really actually thought I'd finish a book, and my goal is to finish by April, so I couldn't do it without you guys and all your support. It really helps. So let's see what else is on tap for tonight. Lots of fun stuff, as there always is. I let in with Sam Cooke and Another Saturday Night. That was fun. I was digging around through my stuff going, what would be fun to lead in with tonight? I'm like, how about a little Sam Cooke? And it's kind of appropriate because it is another Saturday night. And while I ain't got nobody, I'm glad I have you. And that you're listening. So thanks for listening. I'm going to tell you where you can find me and email feedback and stuff. You can email feedback to velvetheavenpodcast@gmail.com. You can like Velvet Heaven Podcast on Facebook. That'd be great if you did. Tell a friend. You can download episodes at www.archive.org. And if you search Soraya, it's SOROIA. All my episodes are available for download for free. That's right, I'm never going to charge you guys for this stuff. Why would I? That's just not right. And while I can't plug Raleigh's show, 'cause it's not on, that would be the Raleigh James Show. If you're a new listener, that's how I got started doing all this. I was a regular caller to Raleigh's show, and I started getting fans, and then she encouraged me to do this. There's some more backstory to that, and maybe one night I'll tell the rest of that story. But for now, that's really all anyone needs to know. And the book that I was talking about is the book that Raleigh James wrote, and it's right on my desk. I'm going to grab it. It's called What Am I Doing Here When Everything I Want Is Somewhere Else? And it's a great book. I recommend you read it. It really did help me through a lot of this year, and this last year. It's 14, but I went through a lot last year, and I can honestly say that without discovering that show and without that book, I wouldn't be nearly as far along in my journey as I am. Raleigh's a great writer, as well as a wonderful broadcaster, and we're very lucky to have her, and I can't wait till she's back. So, without further ado, I got some requests to tell a couple more normal stories like I usually do. We'll do that after the first break. I think that's how I'm usually doing it, but what am I doing that's consistent, right? And I do have some exciting news that one of my friends is starting his own podcast. So as soon as he's up and running, I'll let everyone know where they can get it. And I'm excited. As I've always said, that if you want to do this, you should. It's a great creative outlet. And it's easy to do. It doesn't take a lot of, there's a lot of work with uploading and editing, and if you do that stuff, I'm from the Raleigh James School of Broadcasting, where good enough is good enough. Although I do really appreciate all the tips and advice I've been getting from people who actually do broadcast. I had a lovely couple from Seattle email me, and no, that's not the beginning of a story. Although it sounds like it could be with me. I had another wonderful person from Mississippi email me, and Daniel emailed me. Daniel the caller from Raleigh Show, not Daniel from Mississippi. Two different Daniels. At any rate, I love getting the feedback and suggestions, and one of the listeners wanted me to play some Everly Brothers. I don't know if I'm going to get to that tonight, but rest assured I got your suggestion, and probably next week I'm going to be doing... Oh, not next week, I'll be in Ohio. Oh yeah, I got to talk about the Ohio trip too. But the following week, or maybe before I go to Ohio, I'll try to do a show Wednesday night. It depends on if I'm packed and ready to go by then. Because I'm not sure if I'm going Thursday or Friday yet. I have to talk to my friend. And hopefully she's going to be my first interview, and that's Cherry Lee from Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds. I think she said she'd do it, but I don't know if we're going to have time because I'm also going to be getting tattooed when I go to Ohio. So I got a full plate going down there, but rest assured, if you email me musical suggestions and there's something I own or that isn't too hard to get, I will absolutely play them for you. Because, we aim to please here. Stealing lines from lots of people. So I am going to Ohio next week. I haven't been in almost a year and a half. And like I said, I plan on getting tattooed, and I don't want to spoil what it is. There'll be lots of pictures as soon as I get it. But it's something really significant for this year in my life. I have a guy I see down there as far as tattoos go. We'll do a little tattoo segment, why not? You want to make sure you find somebody who's reputable, and you don't want to go to a chain if you can avoid it, and buy a chain like in Michigan, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, I know, so I shouldn't mention it by name anyway, just in case. At any rate, it's kind of like going to a chain restaurant. It's okay for some things, but if you want something really good, the money you're getting, I suggest that you research it before you get it done. Now, I've gotten work done at this place. It's Truth and Triumph in Dayton, Ohio. They have several locations. I go to the one in Kettering because I know they share shop space with Bill Winger from Daddy Cat. So it's just that they've done great work and they're worth the money. I have a lot, and up here I go to XS in Rochester, and where else have I gotten tattooed? I think those are the only two places because it's a whole lot like getting my hair done. Very picky about who's touching me with needles, you just want to do your research. Make sure that, you have a good place that, is doing good sterilization. And most of them now don't even do that. You get a fresh pack of needles every time they do it. So, yes, tattoos. I'm sure that a lot of my listeners are like, really? Why? As I said on Raleigh's show, I get tattoos to mark milestones in my life, and in 2 weeks, I will have a year of doing absolutely no substances. So, it's kind of a big deal for me. Other than caffeine, so I guess that counts, but to signify that milestone, I'm getting a tattoo. It's huge. So, like I said, it was a life-changing year. And I'm excited. So, there is that. And I just realized upon re-listening to myself that while I plugged Raleigh's book, I didn't tell you where to get it, and you can get Raleigh's book on her site, which is www.raleigh.net, or nickajackpress.com. So, buy it. It's good stuff. I think it's about time I play some tunes. And it's going to be all over the place tonight. I'm coming more into my own as far as playing music goes. I was doing theme shows for a while, but I've really been going back to my own roots, as it's good sometimes to do that. Rediscover stuff you forgot about, and this is the first car I've had with the CD player, So I've been packing a lot of CDs and playing CDs and DJing in my car. It's funny, I see all these people on their phone and I'm like, man, you're missing good music. I love being in the car because it's a chance to play whatever music I want for myself. So, without further ado, I'm Soraya. It's Velvet Heaven Podcast number 7. Enjoy the music, and I'll see you after the segment.
These arms are mine. They are lonely, lonely and feeling blue. These arms of mine, they are yearning, yearning for wanting you. And if you would let them hold you, oh, how grateful I will be. These arms of mine, they are burning, burning for wanting you. These arms of mine, they are wanting, wanting to hold you. And if you would let them hold you, oh, how grateful I will be. Come on, baby, just be my little woman, just be my lover. Oh, I need me somebody, somebody to treat me right. Oh, I need your arms, loving arms to hold me tight. And I need your tender lips to hold me. Tell me when I'm right now, baby.
Pretty girls don't cry. They know exactly what they want. Pretty girls walk by with eyes that smile, faces that haunt. I watch them walk, I wonder, turn away, I try, but I can't find words to say. I know that you don't love me, but I'm watching you. Pretty girls don't cry. They know exactly what to do. Pretty girls walk by, but they won't ever smile at you. Turn away, I try, I can't find words to say. I know that you don't love me, but I'm watching you. watching you. I'm watching you.
I picture something, it's beautiful, it's full of life and it is all blue. I see a sunset on the beach, yeah, it makes me feel calm. When I'm calm, I feel good, and when I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I sing of the joy it brings me. If food is frying and people smiling, like there is no other way to feel good. And when I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings. I say, come on along, I know you really wanna feel our song. We've got some light to bring, we've got some joy in this thing. Come on along, I know you really wanna feel our song. We've got some light to bring, we've got some joy in this thing, yeah. We've got some joy in this thing. Come on along, I know you really wanna feel our song. We've got some life to bring, we've got some joy in this thing, yeah. Can you feel, can you feel, can you feel the joy that it brings? If you can feel the joy, then you should let yourself sing. I love to share my things, 'cause it brings me freedom. Freedom. Whoa, got to give you some of that freedom. Freedom. Smile and feel in your heart. Feel freedom. Freedom. Whoa, you deserve your freedom. Freedom. Dance and feeling that beauty. Freedom. Freedom. Whoa. Well, it's all for you. All for you, all for you, all for you. Sing freedom, freedom. Whoa, oh. Got to get you some of the, got to get you some of the, got to get you some of the. just like you. You move when she's not looking, baby. One sugar ain't enough for you, but you're taking out your lungs, you're burying your bones before your colors blow. You better take it home. I like the way you look, I know you like me, but I want, baby, makes three. Stop playing those eyes. If you want me to keep your little secret, little secret, little secret. Tell it softly to me, baby, that you never meant no one no harm. Your wonderland's a mirror, baby. It's swiftly fading like your charm, but you're stepping out of line. You're spilling all the wine, leaving all the vine, 'cause I can't give you more. I like the way you look, I know you like me, but one, baby, makes me stop playing those eyes. If you want me to keep your little secret, little secret, yeah, little secret, little secret. I could, I won't, I can't, I don't. You make it hard. Talk down, my God, my sins so my ego's choke. I will not lie, I will not lie.
That was Otis Redding, These Arms of Mine, Chris Isaak, Pretty Girls Don't Cry, Jason Mraz, The Freedom Song, and Melissa Etheridge, Your Little Secret. Now I know this sounds like way more of a rock and roll show than I usually do, but I do like rock and roll. And the reason I let in with Your Little Secret is that this is a segment that has been requested because apparently a lot of you miss me telling stories about my past. So for the couple people that got the podcast before anyone else got it, I'm going to repeat the story of part 1 of how I lost my virginity, because I lost it in 2 parts, and not male and female. So my first, who shall remain nameless, while we're not currently on speaking terms, we usually are actually. It's a very bizarre situation. we've had an ongoing thing for 14 years, on and off. We're usually each other's go-to with breakups. It's just kind of how it goes. It's always been like that, and who knows, eventually I might be talking to her again. It's really hard to say. At any rate, I met her at a microbiology class at MCC, which is a community college here. And this was in '96. And I had a hard time, I think I've said this on other casts, getting anyone to commit to actually having sex with me on the female side because they all were afraid it would make them gay. It was fine if we made out, but anything more than that, it was just weird. And people are all hung up on their sexuality and they don't need to be. Nobody cares. Well, they don't now. They did then, but they don't anymore, not really. Oh, okay, I suppose some people care. Anyway, I'm digressing. So, we started to become friends and study together, and I was really attracted to her, but I didn't think she was into me. We both had a boyfriend at the time. And I remember what started that day is we went bra shopping together, and no, it's not one of those stories. And I remember jokingly saying something to her, because she knew I was bi. And her reaction was a little weird and a little skewed, and I was like, what is going on with this? Why is she being weird? You know, I don't usually hit on my friends, so, you know, she should be happy I'm not hitting on her. And I don't know what the deal was, but she wasn't happy. So, we wound up going to this party a couple weeks later, and it was this giant house party, and what's really funny was at the time I was working at the Detroit Zoo for the Zoological Society. I was managing the high school kids, even though I was a college kid, who sell memberships in the tent out front. And this guy who was trying to sleep with me, even though I had a boyfriend at the time and was bi, invited me to this party, and we decided to go. And actually I invited a girl who I thought was into me from my class to come with us. Turns out she wasn't into me at all. And she wound up going home with the guy who invited me to the party. A weird circumstance. I digress. Again. So, what wound up happening was, my first and she got drunk, I was sober because I drove. And at one point she's like, I'm going to be sick, will you come with me and sit with me? And I'm like, sure. So, I mean, we were at this, like, really rich house. Like, we're talking, like, walk-in garden tub with steps, and I don't even know how many rooms were there, but they had a live band in the basement playing Radiohead. Like, it wasn't Radiohead. They were doing covers of Radiohead. It was really bizarre. Probably the best house party I've ever been to, hands down. So, it started to get weird when she closed the door and locked it and didn't seem to be nearly as drunk as she had earlier reported. And I was like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm so mad at you. And she put her hands on her hips, and I was like, why? And she's like, you never hit on me. You don't want me, and I've wanted you forever. She's like, well, I'm really sick of this. And she grabbed me and started kissing me. And I couldn't believe it. I was standing there in shock. I was like, are you kidding? I mean, I've been into her. She's gorgeous. She was tall. It's probably when my thing for taller women started. Now, I'm 5'4". By taller, I mean, if you're 5'7", that's tall to me. And if you're even taller than that, that's even better. Like, my ideal range would be like 5'7" to 5'9". You know, long hair, color of hair is not important. Curvy build. You don't have to be big. You can be small and curvy. Oh, I got a great story about that. See what happens when you just go off the cuff? Yeah, I'm going to tell that story to you. Not this cast, next cast. The girl with the small curves. That was wonderful and pleasantly surprising, but anyway, we start making out. And I'm sitting on the edge of this garden tub that you walk into, and I went up falling in the tub, and she fell in on top of me. Now, meanwhile, the guy who invited me to the party before he hooked up with the girl I brought, he's on the outside of the door banging, going, I know what you're doing in there, let me in. And obviously we didn't. So we're making out, and all of a sudden, I'm naked. She's not. And she's going down on me in this bathtub at this house party. Now, it was great. We wound up stopping because he just wouldn't go away. So before I had a chance to do anything back, she's like, no, not tonight. So we wind up downstairs at this party, and I'm pretty sure I had a pager then, because I remember calling the girl who taught me how to kiss, my second, later in that evening to hook up with her. Yes, I know. It was kind of crazy. A friend of mine have dubbed this something that's very inappropriate for the show, but let's just say that like it's a club and you can certainly join it if you've done things like this. So I call my second on whoever's house phone this is, and the whole time I'm fooling around with my first. Like, she's doing stuff to me. It was just a crazy night. So my second shows up at this party, had some guy drop her off, and we're in the middle of like nowhere. And she's livid because she could tell. Like, we sit down and like start drinking more. Only I wasn't drinking because I was driving, but they start drinking. And she's getting more and more angry at me. She's like, I knew it, you did something with her. Well, my first is laughing because there was always this weird rivalry between the two of them. And it wound up being a really awkward ride home. Because I wound up taking, and thank goodness my first and second live, like, literally, I don't even know, like, 2 miles apart. And I didn't plan that because as I said, I'm at my second at my record store job. So there was no, like, pre-thought ahead. It just kind of worked out like that with all these girls from the east side. What's really funny is that ties in nicely with the girl with the small curves. Apparently I have a thing for east side girls. And all of a sudden Pet Shop Boys West End girls popped in my head. That's bizarre. On the way home, it was pouring rain. I'll never forget this because I wound up taking my first back to her boyfriend's because that's where she wanted to go because he was getting off of work. And he worked nights. He was a cop. I know at this point you're like, how are you still alive, Soraya? I wonder that myself sometimes. Me and my strange life. So I drop everyone else off, and my second is livid with me, and she's like, you know, I should never call you again if I didn't like you so much. And, you know, and at this point I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So she goes in the house, and then I take my first back to her boyfriend, and I had to stop and get gas, and I totally forgot about this till I started telling this story again, because I told this story on a different cast when I was practicing, and it's funny the way the human mind works and details start coming back. And isn't there just something sexy about the rain? I always have thought that. And it was summer, so it was warm. And I pulled into this gas station, and I got out to pump gas, and she stayed in the car. And I finished pumping gas, and I got back in the car, and we started making out again. I mean, really making out. And I had this 95, it was brand new at the time, white Ford Escort with a moonroof and everything. And we fogged up the windows, and we made out for what seemed like forever. Before she's like, you have to take me home. You know, so-and-so's going to be home soon, and I don't want to leave you, but it was wonderful. So that's part one of how I lost my virginity. I would lose the rest of it with the same girl, but not until way later. And I guess I want to talk about this before, what I consider, what I count when I've slept with someone is anytime I go down to them. And that's how I count it for me. And I've had this argument with somebody, with the Depeche Mode girl, because we talked about it, and it's just a long story because she was arguing for her place on that list, and it's just funny because she said other things should count, and maybe we'll take a poll at some point with that. I don't want to get graphic. I try to do this as tastefully as I can. Oh, well, what the hell. And she was saying, because I did penetration, that should count. So, you know, you're going, Yes, there are other ways to do penetration besides that, so whatever. If you want to be counted, you're counted. Stand up and be counted. I love when this thing gets out of control, and right now it is. You know, I kind of wonder, like, when some of you listen, if you're just like, wow. You probably are, and the things that rattle through my brain when I'm telling these stories. So that's the I'm going to start calling that the Get Your Popcorn segment. I think it's appropriate. And for the final segment, besides doing wrap-up stuff, I'm going to do something I discussed with the Rockstar. It's something I realized, too, because I've been listening to a lot of old Raleigh episodes, and I'm sure a lot of you are doing the same thing, because I'm sure all of us miss her collectively. And I go back and I listen to some of those early phone calls, and they're really funny. And my friends, Scott and Kelly, got me this great gift for my birthday. Shout out for you guys. Thanks so much. I love you. You're awesome. They got me these really great Sony Extra Bass headphones in support of me doing the cast. And I had listened on them the other night, and the thing is that when you miss the nuances of someone's voice or their laugh under their breath or any of that, you realize you might have missed something very important. And let's just say that I am not the most noticeable person at subtlety. And this has happened my whole life, so I'm going to pick that up on the other side. Again, I'm Soraya. This is Velvet Heaven number 7. Thanks for listening.
This is a Neil Young song. It's called Like a Hurricane.
Oh
anymore. I'm just a dream. You could have been anyone to me. For the moment you touched my lips, the perfect feeling when time was slipped of that foggy dream.
Pushing a broom out into space, and this is where I found a way. The stadium, Arcadium, a mirror to the moon. Well, I'm roaring and I'm warming, state of the art until the clouds come crashing. Stranger things have happened both before and after me. Well, I'm mourning and I'm warming, pushing myself to know I don't mind asking now. Alone inside my forest room, and it's stormy. I never thought I'd be in bloom, but this is where I start. Saturday days in a stereo place for the all-night crowd that cannot. And I'm calling the yard until the clouds come crashing. Stranger things have happened both before and after noon. Well, I'm calling and I'm warming to you.
Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. We both know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong to let it go now. We meet every day at the same cafe, 6:30, and no one knows she'll be there. Holding hands, making all kinds of plans, while the jukebox plays our favorite song. Me and Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. We both know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong to let it go now. We gotta be extra careful that we don't build our hopes up too high, 'cause she's got her own obligations, and so do I. Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. We both know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong to let it go now. Well, it's time for us to believe. It hurts so much inside. Now she'll go her way and I'll go mine. Tomorrow we'll meet the same place, the same time. And Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. We gotta be extra careful. We can't afford to build our hopes up too high. I wanna meet and talk with you at the same place, the same cafe, the same time. And we're gonna hold hands like we used to. We're gonna talk it over, talk it over. We know, they know, and you know and I know that it was wrong. But all things is strong.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jilly loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. We'd like to know a little bit about you for our files. We'd like to help you learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are sympathetic eyes. Stroll around the grounds until you feel at home. The PTA, Mrs. Robinson, won't okay the way you do your thing. Ding, ding, ding. And you'll get yours, Mrs. Robinson, fooling with that young stuff like you do. Boo-hoo-hoo. Woo-woo-woo. Dandy Mrs. Robinson, you say. Hey, hey, hey. Well, have you heard, Mrs. Robinson? Mine is fine as wine, and I should know. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Mrs. Robinson, keep them cards and letters coming in, Robin, baby.
Well, if you're still listening after that, God love you, because that might be the strangest block of music I've ever played. It's Roxy Music, Like a Hurricane, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Stadium Arcadium, followed up with Me and Mrs. Jones, and I think it's Billy Paul, and then lastly with Frank Sinatra doing Mrs. Robinson, and I love Frank, and I particularly love him covering Mrs. Robinson, so there is that. And as I recall, I was going to finish out this show, and I said a double show, and I'm not going to get a mixing my Ohio tape till maybe tomorrow. Some unexpected things come up, and that's alright. That's why we roll with it. But if I give you guys an hour and a half, essentially that's a double show. So that's what we're working on right now. So, back to me being the queen of Oblivion. As I was saying, I've been listening to a lot of old Raleigh shows currently, as I'm sure a lot of you are doing. And all of us are suffering withdrawal together. Yeah, man, it's been a bitch for me. I don't know about you guys. Probably not as bad if you don't call. Okay, I shouldn't say that because it's probably worse if you're a listener. I bet you it is. At any rate, we're all listeners. So as I was listening to some of the earlier shows and things of that nature, there were so many times that Raleigh said something funny, and I missed it. And it just led me back through so much of my other part of my life, because Raleigh is just par for the course for me, with missing things that women tell me because I'm not paying attention. And it's not that I'm not paying attention, I'm just distracted or thinking about what I'm going to say next, or nervous because they're attractive, or any numerous reasons. I do believe I said on her show that when I'm attracted to someone, it's very obvious. My whole side of my face breaks out in hives, and my neck, and etc. And this is part of the same deal. I'm just nervous, I suppose, and I was laughing at some of the early stuff because it just reminds me of I'm gonna start calling her the girl with the small curves, because she would do this back when I was still drinking. We'd be at the bar together, and she'd say something subtle, but that was just really dirty. And I wouldn't get it till I was on the way home. And I'd get home and I'd call her or text, and I'd be like, what the hell was that about? So I don't like to think that I'm, like, slow, because I'm not. I'm a smart girl. I just am kind of like a Labrador puppy. I'm really cute. I'll hang on you every word, but at times I'm like, well, look at the shiny ball over there, or, it's just, it's amusing to me. I think you have to be amused by your own faults and turn your faults into something that could be an asset. And it's kind of like with a lot of other things with me. The hives, usually girls are like, oh, that's so cute, or they think it's funny or endearing or whatever. And I guess my piece of advice for the week, and maybe I'll start doing a segment like this. This would be fun. Yes, coming from me who currently has no girlfriend. How to woo or get the attention of, or, and I can only speak to girls. I'm sorry about getting girls. I'm sorry about the ladies who listen to me and want to know how to get men. I have no idea how to do that. It's not my forte, so I apologize. But one of the things that I know works for me, and I think it would work either gender, is pay attention to what that person's saying to you. Find out what kind of music they like. Find out something they're interested in. And talk about it with them. And generally be interested in it. Don't fake it. Women always know when you're faking it. Although you guys don't always know when we're faking it from what I hear. But again, I'm digressing a lot tonight. I don't know anything about guys. That and a good back rub never hurt anybody, and I mean a long back rub. I don't mean like a 10-minute, let's get this on thing. That's right, I'm giving away all my secrets on this podcast. Oh, it's good karma. Do good for others. And, oh, I know what segment I was going to end on tonight. And this is an abrupt segue. I did something good for somebody today, at least I think I did. And actually I can segue this way better, and I could go back and edit and fix it, but why? You guys love me being me, so it's appropriate that I end this podcast by talking about Katie. Because, oh well, I'm going to do a wrap-up segment too. I've known Katie since I was 16. And no, she's not one of the many. Katie is married and has 4 kids now. It's unbelievable. And she had the first one right out of high school, who's now 19. And God, do I feel old. And for all of you doing math at home, who are part of my older crowd, thanks for sticking with the weird music this week. And not only that, I'm sorry, it just made you feel even older than you probably already felt. My apologies. But anyway, Katie is one of the first people who got me to come out of my shell about my sexuality, or potentially my sexuality. When I was still in high school, Katie was a senior and I was a junior. Remember those years when that seemed like worlds apart? And they used to do Rocky Horror at Lakeside, as in Rocky Horror Picture Show, for those of you who don't know, where they throw the rice and do the lines and all that. And Katie took me to that. And it was the first time I had ever seen, believe it or not, 2 women even remotely kissing or anything in a movie, and I felt funny. I think I talked about this with the Dracula movie, because it was around the same time that I went to this, and I remember thinking after that, like questioning myself and wondering if there was something more to it. So I always look back at Katie, and then Katie's a riot. She did some really funny stuff. Like, just to mess with people. At a band float party, we used to build these floats for homecoming, and like if you were in band or the senior float or whatever, right? So at the band party, which was at her house, she thought it would be funny to get the rumor started that her and I were dating, and she's very straight, like I said. Because Katie's kind of an instigator, like I was saying. So we were standing outside of her house, and she was pretending to make out with me by putting her hand over my mouth and leaning over like she was going to kiss me, but from far away it looked like we were kissing. And I bet you as I'm telling this story, if Katie's listening, she's like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. And it was the first time I remember thinking, oh boy, I kind of wish we weren't faking this. So I think I've always known. And that's going to segue into a very weird thing right here. And for those of you counting at home how many times I've said segue, it's about 5. So hey, that could be a new drinking game. Every time I say Segway, you can take a shot. You'd be kind of drunk by now. So, today, and actually yesterday, it doesn't matter in your world, it's not going to be right anyway. But I went to go see her. I hadn't seen her in about a year. We still kept in touch. And we were talking, and we were talking about the old times. I had a really bizarre day today, and this was really the pick-me-up I needed. So her daughter, who's now 19, bought the family a sugar glider, which is a flying squirrel for those of you at home who don't know what I'm talking about. And this thing was so cool. And it made me happy just to stand there and play with him. Like, he was in this giant cage. They built him this great habitat. And I kept thinking that it's the little things in life that make us happy. Like, I didn't have a bad day, but it was weird. And I stood there for about 15 minutes and just played with this flying squirrel. Which, by the way, flying squirrels are pretty cool. I kind of like it. Which leads me to Ella, because, you know, Ella's not a flying squirrel. You've all seen pictures. Ella's a cat. But Ella has this weird extra skin under her front arms. And I swear to you, I wonder if she's part flying squirrel. I've pondered this for a while. So, there is that. Enjoy the little things you get in life. None of us ever know how long we're going to be here. You know, we should treat each other and respect each other and love each other, because that's what you're sent here to do. I try to help as many people as I can, and even if it's something small, which is why I started telling this story, is that I took Katie a wireless router because I didn't have one that I wasn't using. And it was something small, but I went out of my way to do it, and she really appreciated it. And it wasn't so much about what the item was, as it was about me taking the time to care about her. So, you can do the littlest thing for somebody. Taking 5 minutes to listen to somebody. Or give somebody something that you're not even using. It makes all the difference in the world. Every day that I get, I feel like I'm blessed and lucky. And I want to thank the listeners that I always do, because without having an audience, how could I be doing this? And I know it gets old, but I will always be grateful for Rob. Without her, I wouldn't have most of you, or even know most of you, or have some of my new close friends, and that's not lost on me. We find people when we need them if we're open to it. Come from a place of love and not fear, and you'll win every time. Because wealth isn't about money, it's about love. At least in my opinion. Damn, I do sound like a hippie. That guy was right. Oh, that's okay. I'm alright with being a hippie. So I think it's time for me to spin some more tunes. I'm Soraya. This is Velvet Heaven number 7. On the other side, we'll do the outro and where you can find me and other things I believe in that you should buy. Well, some things don't cost money or listen to. Thanks.
They're really rocking in Boston and Pittsburgh, PA, deep in the heart of Texas and round the Frisco Bay, all over St. Louis and down in New Orleans. All the cats wanna dance with sweet little 16, sweet little 16. She just got to have about 500,000 famed autographs. Her wallet filled with pictures, she gets them one by one. Becomes so excited, watch her look at her run, boy. Oh, mommy, mommy, please may I go? It's such a sight to see somebody steal the show. Oh, daddy, daddy, I beg of you, whisper to mommy, it's alright with you. 'Cause they'll be rocking on Bandstand in Philadelphia, PA, deep in the heart of Texas, around the Frisco Bay, all over St. Louis, way down in New Orleans. All the cats wanna dance with sweet little 16. and around the Frisco Bay, all over St. Louis, way down in New Orleans, all the cats wanna dance with sweet little 16. Sweet little 16, she's got the grown-up blues, tight dresses and lipstick, she's sporting high-heel shoes. Oh, but tomorrow morning she'll have to change her trend and be sweet 16 and back in class again. But they'll be rocking in Boston, Pittsburgh, PA, deep in the heart of Texas, and round the Frisco Bay, way out in St. Louis, way down in New Orleans, all the cats wanna dance with sweet little 16.
Thank you so much, friends. So very kind of you to come to this.
Above, and dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the children who are asking to be born. Dance me through the curtains that our kisses have outworn. Raise a tent of shelter now, though every thread is torn, and dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Glove and dance me to the end of